So, in part 14 of our True or False series, we're dealing with the phrase or the statement that the shaft plane is the swing plane. And of all the true or false myths, this is the most damaging. The shaft plane is not the swing plane. I've put in a yellow lime rod into the ground, and it's going to be parallel to my 6-iron plane. I think you can see that plane would continue way below my shoulder line. So the address plane, the shaft plane, that's all it is. It's the address plane. If I hinge my wrist to 90 degrees and then rotate my forearms, I'm now in the biomechanical plane. The line from the ball through the club to my sternum is what we're looking at, and you can see that I'm in a very different plane. So the club head tracks on the optimum biomechanical plane, and the butt of the club rises to it. If I stand sideways to you, here's the shaft plane running down towards my navel. I think you can see as I make the swing, the butt of the club rises to the plane. If I do it in 3 pieces, it's even clearer. There's wrist cock, stick my little finger out, that's the rotational axis, the butt of the club rises, and now I turn. So I think you can see that the shaft plane at address changes radically to find the biomechanical plane. It drops only to rise again in the follow through. Now, I'm not saying that you can't hit good shots replicating the shaft plane at impact. You can. Certainly with fade spin shots and wedges and so on, then this is likely to be true for most golfers, the butt of the club returning to the address plane. So you can imagine in the days of Nick Faldo and David Ledbetter, they went to the biomechanical plane, they dropped the club back to the shaft plane at impact, came through and stood up a little bit, and that was your classic Faldo-Ledbetter golf swing, a milder version of what Lee Trevino did. So I think you can see when I coil and make a fade spin mechanism, the shaft stays low. If I coil the biomechanical plane and draw, the butt of the club rises. So what I would say to you is that if that was the most athletic plane, Tiger gets there with his driver, the shaft has risen. I don't know of any coach that teaches below the shaft plane, and nor do I know of any coach that teaches a swing above the biomechanical plane. So this is a cone of acceptable movement. At the bottom end of this cone, you're in the fade spin family, the accuracy family. In the upper reaches of this plane, close to the biomechanical plane, you're in the more athletic, more powerful end of the spectrum. So you'll see Faldo at impact return the shaft as he did to the address plane. Tiger Woods, the driver, will be up here. The important thing to know as a coach and a player is where you are in the end of the spectrum. Neither are wrong, but it's obvious that they're different, and you've got to know which one works for you. So this is a simple idea, showing you the address plane here. You go to your throat, you can see the club is well above that plane. Draw a line from the butt of the club to the ball, that's the biomechanical plane. If you return to the shaft, you're accurate, and if you come above the shaft, you're going to be more powerful. Pays your money, take your choice.